Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. At least it's evening here in the UK. This Wednesday evening, 7 o'clock. Welcome to everybody who's joining in, and do make some comments, ask questions. So it's another edition of the Poetry of Painting. I can't believe this is actually the 48th edition already of my weekly show. So I hope you're enjoying them as much as I am. I've met some amazing poets and had a brilliant time doing this. So this week it's going to be a recorded session for you, because my guest this week is from Australia. Wonderful lady, lovely poet, and it would have just been a little bit cruel to have her getting up to do a show starting at 5 in the morning her time. So I couldn't really do that to her. But if you've got any questions or comments for her, please do leave them in the comments, and I know that she'll be looking at them tomorrow and answering any questions you might have. So without more ado, I'm going to share the video that we recorded at the weekend, and I'm going to be able to sit back and listen to her wonderful poem all over again, and of course answer any comments that I can if you put them in the chat. So do join in. Lovely to have you with us, whether it's live or on replay, and enjoy the show. Bear with me while I just bring it onto the screen. I shall take. Well, evening everybody. It's Fiona Hooper here again with another edition of the Poetry of Painting. And this week it's a recorded show because my wonderful guest this week, Kim Noyce, is another Australian poet. So it would be totally antisocial to expect her to be up to do this live at the moment, being about 5 in the morning. Not the ideal time to do a live. So without more ado, let me welcome you, Kim, to the show. Brilliant to have you on board. Thank you so much for doing this. And really looking forward to having a chat with you today.
It's lovely to be here. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So
yeah,
I know you're new to the show, so I have seen one of your poems before, which was absolutely gorgeous. And
thank you.
I'm really looking forward to hearing your poem today. I'm sure it'll be amazing.
I hope you like it.
I'm sure I will. So, and this week, the poem is about my painting here, which is called Mountain Tarn. And it's in oils on canvas. It was painted with knives, again, my favorite way of painting. And it's 60 by 60 centimeters, which is about 2 foot square for people still in Imperial, which we're in both metric and Imperial. And it's just, I say, it's oil on canvas, whereas the other one behind me is oil on gold leaf on canvas. So has a bit of a different look to it. But this one's just another one inspired by the beautiful wild places I love, and just feel that they're food for the soul, these places. So Kim, would you like to read us your poem about my painting? I shall share the painting on screen, so bear with me, just share that on screen for people to see while you read your poem for us.
First of all, I just want to say it's a beautiful poem. Painting. When I saw it, I was just, my eye just was drawn to this one. So this is my poem. It's like a little story. So I called it Mountain Sonnet. Mountain Sonnet. Whene'er my soul is restless and needs a gentle reprieve, I look toward the mountains in the distance, betwixt a swathe of wild flowers to the moors and valleys. Barefoot and guided by her winds, chill cold against my face, paints my cheeks a pink and rosy red, and spirit soaring as she sings to me her sweet refrain. And as I make my way up the hillside, the leaves are turning a mix of yellow, orange, red and green. As rain clouds gather across the peak tops, my toes pay no attention to the dampness of the foliage that lay soft beneath my feet. Treading carefully now down the hillside towards a lake of sapphire blue, I watch a graceful pair of mute swans glide across the water as I stop to pick a wild flower and inhale its sweet perfume. And as I continue down the trail, a flash of red catches my attention from the corner of my eye, stopping me in my tracks. 'Tis the bushy tail of Mr. Red Fox swishing through the tall grass out towards the old abandoned shack. And as I keep my gaze upon him stalking up the hilltop, I give out a woeful cry, for he's headed straight toward the cheerful bouncing bunny, munching on the sweetgrass, blissfully unaware of his dreadful plight. Turning my head away quickly to block out the scene that plays before me, I continue on my way, praying the fates will be kind and warn the playful bunny of his peril, so as he can make his getaway. And when I finally reach the clearing, the lake greets me with her beauty, her surface shiny and smooth as glass, a picture-perfect replica of the mountains and the cloudscape reflecting high from up above. And all at once my soul feels lighter as I breathe in her magic and taste the mountain air. Not even the raindrops falling upon me dampen my spirits, nor the cold breeze that's whipping wildly through my hair. And although I'd like to stay longer, a crack of thunder jolts me to my senses, a warning the storm is closing in. My reflection in the water is now cloudy and the sky is growing dim. So before I leave, I look towards the heavens to thank Mother Nature for gifting us her beauty. 'Tis because of her I shall never feel alone. For as long as I hear her mountain music in the distance, I will always answer her sweet song, softly calling me back home.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing so that we can see you again. And there we go. Oh, that was lovely. I just love the imagery and also the fact that, you know, when you got there, it was like it was food for the soul, and, you know, which is what I try to convey in my work, because I just love these beautiful places, and just so worried that we may not have a lot of beautiful places in the future because of climate change and stuff. But that was lovely, and
I'm glad you liked it.
The little stories with the fox and the bunny and hoping the bunny got away, and oh dear.
How do I describe this? But like when we've been to the UK and seen a lot of the beautiful countryside, and I remember seeing a lot of swans. I think I saw a few rabbits. I didn't see any foxes, but I knew that foxes, you know, live around the place. So yeah, that's just sort of the story that your painting told me. And I love the mountains too. They're different mountains in my part of the world, but that's the peace that it brings me as well. So
brilliant. Oh, well, thank you so much for writing that. That was lovely. And
I enjoyed it.
Hopefully you'll let me publish that on Facebook in due course, with obviously crediting to you. So
I'd love that. Thank you.
So Kim, how did you come to get into poetry? What was the trigger that brought you into the world of poetry?
Okay. I'd never written a poem until last year. You know, with the pandemic, I was furloughed from my work. So I had a lot of time on my hands. My hubby was still working. He's an essential worker. So I was at home, and I made a few connections online with authors and writing groups. And it was through this group that Christian Teague is his name. He published an anthology with all different short stories and poems, and he said you could submit something. So I thought, I don't think I've got anything to offer. I haven't written anything before. And then this thought just came to me, and I thought, no, I feel like writing about this. So I sat down and I wrote the poem, and I was very nervous to send it, you know, somebody reading your work. And that's how it all began, just simply by submitting that poem for the anthology, and to see my words in print was amazing. Just to see it, you know, written out in a book with a painting or an image in there. It was just wonderful. And now I just write it every day. Like I'll wake up at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I'll have ideas, like poems in my head. So I'll just get my phone and write it in my notes and ideas. And then maybe a few days later, a few weeks later, I'll be going through my notes. I'm thinking, I don't remember writing this. Like, I've written these poems. So it's just part of who I am now. I love to write poetry. So
brilliant. That's lovely. So what sort of, I know obviously you've written a beautiful poem about my painting, but what other sort of things do you write about? Is it one, does it tend to be on a theme, or is it all sorts of different things that inspire you?
I think it's all different things. It's just certain moments that will trigger an emotion more than anything. An emotion, I guess. I'm putting together an anthology of my own, which I hope to bring out by the end of July. And I showed my daughter a few of the poems, and she said, they're lovely, Mum. And they range from nature, a lot of nature poems, probably like you like painting a lot of nature, and you're a poet too. So a lot of nature poems that go with my photography. But then there's a lot of emotive poems, I guess. And I guess when I look at them, quite a few are melancholy, with the pandemic and emotions that I've been feeling. So, and missing my family, that sort of thing. And I keep thinking, come on, I need this world to change a little bit so I can write a few more happier poems. Yeah. Not that they're morbid, but they deal a bit more with the melancholy side of things, I guess. Yeah.
Because you do a lot of photography, I believe, as well, don't you? It's another hobby of yours, or
I do
skill.
Yeah. So it's all on my Instagram account. And Instagram just started in a really strange way. I didn't really want to be on Instagram, but my children live overseas and they work at Disney. And I was wanting to see some photos, and they said, Mum, you just need to start up an Instagram account. That's where all the photos get posted, and that's how my journey on Instagram began. And I just have a love of nature, and we hike a lot. So hike in the rainforest over here, and that's where my passion for the mountains and taking photos and now writing poetry that goes with the photos. Yeah.
And also, I believe painting again. You've come back to the world of art with your painting, and I see there's a beautiful tree frog behind you.
My tree frog. That's the first tree frog actually I've drawn. It's just a drawing, but I do want to get into painting. I've got all my paints behind here and my easel. I'm going to be doing an art course very soon. So starting with the basics and then learning the techniques of painting, like you were mentioning, you've got the oils and the gold leaf, and then I know there's acrylics, all different forms of painting. But just starting with my drawing to begin with, because I think drawing is sort of the foundation for me to start drawing and then take it to painting. But here's my tree frog. Tree frogs are my favourite. My favourite creature. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So really looking forward to getting into painting, seeing what I can do. I think it'll be very vibrant and colourful. I start out black and white, but everything ends up very bright.
Well, that's obviously the way that it's your style coming through there, which is lovely.
We all have different styles.
Absolutely.
I went to a Van Gogh exhibition, Van Gogh live, and that was amazing. All the vibrant colours of sunflowers and the cherry blossoms. I was just in awe of that. I could have stayed there all day.
Beautiful excellent. So you're normally up really early, I believe, and you're a sunrise goddess, maybe.
I don't know about a goddess. If you see me first thing in the morning, I would definitely, my hat comes in very handy. I get up when I drag myself out of bed, set my alarm 5 times to make sure I get out of bed. It's not easy getting up before the sunrise, as you probably know. But drag myself out of bed, pop my hat on, have a coffee and breakfast, and off I go, because I love to see the sunrise and take photos of the sunrise. It's my favourite time of the day. It just gets me off to a really, really good start, a really good place just to be in nature, and there's hardly anybody else crazy enough to be out at that time. So it's a bit of solitude, before the world starts.
Because the Japanese are very keen on sunrise. They don't like sunset, do they? Because like with sunrise, it's the positivity and the whole day ahead, whereas sunset's sort of the end of the day. And I think they're very much into sunrise rather than sunset.
I didn't know that. No, I did not know that.
Well, I believe so anyway. But even though sunsets can be absolutely beautiful too. It's just,
I love them both. It's just that normally
yeah.
I'm busy at sunset, so I think I like them both. How about you? Do you like sunset or sunrise, or you?
I like them both too.
Yeah.
I think sometimes sunsets can be more spectacular to look at, but
Yes.
sunrise, I do quite like the idea of, well, it's sunrise and now you've got the whole day ahead of you. Where a sunset, it's beautiful, and it can only, sometimes it lasts for literally a minute and then it's gone.
Not
If
too
you
long.
don't catch
Yes.
and then it's gone, and then you've got,
That's true.
the darkness coming. Whereas I like the idea of sunrise better maybe, but the beauty of the sunset as well.
They're just
can
as
be
beautiful as each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
I know on a lot of the photos I see on Instagram, sometimes if people don't hashtag it, you're not sure whether it's a sunrise or a sunset, because really they really look the same, unless you know which one it was and you were there. But I think a sunset by the ocean is beautiful. Often my husband and I will go down and have fish and chips by the water, a little picnic, and watch the sun. When we get time to do that in the evening is nice. So just as beautiful.
And see the sun reflecting off the water as well, like a golden pathway coming towards you, and
you could paint that very nicely.
I could try. So what else are you doing? Are you going to be writing any poetry about your own paintings, do you think, in future?
I think I will. I think you've inspired me to do that, actually, because I guess I want to paint my photos because they're all nature. They're in the rainforest, and I do have some near the ocean as well, some beautiful ocean photos. So I really enjoy making up. I think that's where to be honest, I started writing little, not ditties, but little quotes before I started writing poetry underneath all my photos. So I think that's I was in the process of doing it. But I think so. If I could do it, I've already got poetry with the photos, so now I just have to paint them.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's something special about telling a story about what you've seen. Like, I think you do a lot of your paintings out in the open, yes? Like you go out.
I try to, yes, when I can. Sometimes the inspiration for a work maybe when I've been away on a vacation or something, and it's not convenient to have big canvases with me or whatever. But I do love going out painting. Tend to paint more like 10 by 12 inch size, and sometimes smaller, just for the convenience of carrying it and fitting in my pochade, my sketch box. So I don't tend to work so large outside. Some people do. Some people do massive canvases outside. But
wow. And then you're sort of racing against time, are you? Like if it's with the daylight and everything?
Well, it also it's the way that the light changes. I think 2 hours is about the maximum really that I'd want to spend on any one painting outside at one session. And the UK, you can't guarantee the weather's going to be the same the next day or even whenever, to go back at that same time of day, because the shadows change, the texture of the light changes as well. It's cooler in the morning, gets warmer during the day, so the colours tend to change a bit. Let's say the shadows have moved, so you've really got to try and get the shadows in and fix them at one point, whether that's at the start or in the middle or at the end, but once you've maybe got the structure in, otherwise you're forever trying to change it and keeping up with the moving sun, and that just really doesn't work. So but
so how long would that sort of take you? How long would that take you, like with the lake that you've done? So did you paint that from outside or
no?
From
that one was painted in the studio from sketches. In the studio, and photographs. Okay. Yes. So a lot of it's
also sketches and what you can remember as well, I guess.
Yeah. And in fact, some paintings I've done have been purely from memories of places. There was one that went to a new home just before Christmas, which was lovely, and that was of some moorland, but it was done. I didn't even use sketches or photographs. It was out of my memories of.
It was in your memory.
Yes, walks, lots of walks on moors in different places, and just the emotions and the feeling of being there, and the remembering the sights, the smells, the feel of the breeze and the sounds of the birds. Sometimes over here we get the skylarks, which go up and they hover quite high and sing away, and they're absolutely beautiful.
So you're really painting your emotions, aren't you? That's what you're painting on a moment, or emotions. Yeah.
And I think wherever it is with the mountains or wherever, it's still trying to get that emotion into the painting, and to try and convey what it's like to be there for somebody who may never have been to the place.
You may never go there.
Yes, but to try and make them feel that they can look at it, walk into the scene, and feel like they're there. And if I can achieve a little bit of that, then I feel like
you've accomplished
had a success. And
exactly, because you're telling a story through your painting. Like, that is a story that you're telling, and like you said, somebody's just drawn to that particular painting because they feel like they're right there.
And if they can, a lot of people do comment that my paintings are quite tranquil, and if I can,
I would definitely describe them as tranquil. Definitely.
Good. Thank you. So if I can help people just feel a little bit more in tune with nature, and just de-stress and relax, re-energize by looking at
having that on the wall
scene
to look at, and
then I'll be very happy if I can do that for somebody and help them feel that sense of
that
nature,
tranquility,
and connection. So
that's what you feel when you're out there, don't you? You do feel that when you're out in nature. It just brings you such peace and tranquility. Absolutely. Is the word. So you definitely convey that in your paintings. I did go on your website and have a look. So
thank you.
Yeah, no, you definitely do. You got beautiful style. It is very tranquil. So
excellent. Well, hopefully we can all see some more of your photographs as well, everybody that's watching. And I'm sure they'd love to see your photographs of the sunrises. I mean, who doesn't love a great sunrise?
My rainforest. I call it my rainforest. It's my happy place. It's like your countryside. It's just, as in, not the same, but that brings me such peace to go into the mountains. That they call them the Green Mountains, and just amazing. The tallest trees you'll ever see, and vines, and lots of waterfalls.
Brilliant.
I have to paint those one day, Fiona. I'll have to. Yes.
You might have gathered from my website and paintings like this, I rather like trees as well.
You do.
And they're
another tree lover. I love it.
Yes. It's so important to our world, with the carbon that they lock in, and we really need them to do that at the moment. And
we do.
But I think they just give you a sense of being grounded, and a sense of permanence. I know they don't last forever, but you've just got that feeling of they're there, they're solid, they're grounded, and you can just sort of let go a little bit and relax when you're walking through woods and jungles and forests. And
most definitely. And some of the trees in the rainforest, they're like thousands upon thousands of years old. I don't know about in the UK, but they're ancient. You think, oh my goodness, if they could just speak and tell us, what they've seen, how many people have been, walking their paths. And I feel that way too.
Magic. Well, hopefully you'll put your link once this has gone out on Wednesday night, 7:00 p.m. UK time, that is. If you could put your links in sometime after that, so that people can check out your Instagram account and things, that would be brilliant. I'm sure they'd love to do that. I'd like to do that anyway. I haven't had enough time to look at all your photos yet, so I shall have a look at more of those. And then maybe as well, next time you come on, we'll be able to see some more paintings if you've had time to do some more.
Yes, I need to get into the painting. Like I said, I'm sketching a lot, but I'm dying to put paint onto the canvas and see what happens. I'd like that.
So what have you used to do your tree frog? You start with pen and ink, do you think, or?
Okay. I've done a few sketches of trees, and this is my first tree frog. I guess they start out just with sketching with pencil, and then I think I have left one of my haven't got it right here, but I did I think it's called a pandas palm that is near the ocean, and it was so beautiful. It's on my Instagram page. But I sketched it, so it's still in black and white. But then there's just something about it that I always have to add colour. So I went back and, and added colour to see the difference. I like it in both. I just use whatever I've got. Like I've got felt pens, and that one is just really felt pen.
Okay, it's worked really well.
I'm not. What do they call them? Sharpies. You know, the Sharpies. I just went over with that. I never know where I'm going to end up. But I have done a few things that are just black and white. I'm just experimenting, I guess. It's just new. Like, it's been a long time since I've dabbled in drawing and painting, but I'm loving it. I'm excited to see what I'm going to end up with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the main thing is to enjoy it, because I think anything artistic, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to put everything into it that, and people, I think people will sense that as well. I think you can tell when someone's really enjoyed doing something, like your frog. It's just, it's full of joy and colour, and you can see that you enjoyed doing it. It's lovely.
I do, but my main thing is it's teaching me patience, because when I start something, I like to finish it. So I've got to learn that I can put things away and come back to it. I think, like you say, you can go start your painting and then you can go back to it. I'm very impatient, so I've got to learn to just take my time.
But on the other hand, sometimes it's really good. You're just in the zone and you're in the flow, and you just keep going, and you just think, hang on, where did those hours go just then?
Like 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh dear, I should go to bed.
You just don't notice the time going when you get so into it, and you're just loving what you're doing. And
it's so therapeutic, isn't it? I think poetry, writing, painting, it's all, to me, telling a story, and it's therapeutic. I think you feel the same way.
Absolutely. And and different people have their own different outlets for that, whether it's writing or art, or if some people it could be dance, anything really, that is
whatever
just
makes you happy. Whatever.
You get into that zone, and you're away, and
it's good. You're lost in your own little world. So
absolutely, yes. Brilliant. So well, I'm hoping that you're going to find another of my paintings that you'd like to write about in due course as well.
I would love to. I would love to write another one. Yes.
And maybe as well you could read a poem about one of your paintings another time.
Yes, I could do that. Yeah, definitely.
It's always lovely seeing other people's artwork and as well, and also to hearing, so maybe your poetry, because you've got your photograph and you've written something already. Do you think your paintings will actually be as much an interpretation of the poetry as well as the photograph, as opposed to the poem being an interpretation of the painting?
That's a good question.
Do you think it'll work the other way for yours?
I really don't know. I'm very much, even when it comes to my writing, I guess a pantster with everything. I just let it take me where it goes. So I will tell you that as soon as I do my very first one. It could be different. It could be something completely different by the time I've painted it. So it could be, just a different interpretation, like you say, of the photo. So therefore, it needs a new poem. So
absolutely.
And I love that. I love the excitement of not knowing. Just let it take me where it's going to go.
Absolutely.
Are you like that when you do your poetry? Or your writing? Is it more?
I think it tends to. It can tend to go off in a slightly different direction from what I was thinking initially, because I think as you're thinking of different. Well, when I've been doing the poems, I tend to think of quite a few words and phrases, and then start to build those into a poem. And sometimes then they will trigger other ideas that I didn't have to start with. And so it can sort of end up slightly in a different direction to what I thought. But it's been quite interesting on the shows that a lot of my guest poets' poems have been quite similar to mine, even though like with yourself, we didn't discuss this painting at all
Not at all.
beforehand,
No,
so
I
that
like
it's,
that.
yeah, so it's all your actual response to it, not influenced by myself
Yes.
at all. And it's been quite interesting how they have correlated quite a lot in
like a lot of similarities between, even though you got different styles, but there's still similarities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there again, some have been quite different, which is lovely. You know, it's lovely to get that, you know, and
a
see
total
how the
different perspective.
Yes, how the different poets react. So
anyway,
do you
have a poem? Sorry, do you have a poem that you've written for this painting?
Not for this one.
Not yet?
No, not yet. No.
So I'll have to hear that. If you do write one for that one, I would love to hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I will let you know.
Okay.
I think we're just about getting to our time for today. It's been amazing having you on the show. Love it very much. Thank you, Kim. It's lovely. I do appreciate you giving up your time for this. It's lovely, and for writing your poem about my painting, which I always feel very honoured when my guest poets write about my paintings. So thank you so much for that. I say, do put your links in after the show's gone out, and look forward to having you back on the show in the future as well.
Thank you so much for having me. I've really loved it. The time has just flown.
It has.
So it has. And then look, I feel honoured that you've asked me to write a poem for your painting. When I first was drawn to it, I just had all these words popping into my head. I had to quickly go jot them all down, like all the words that first came when I looked at it, and it just came together. It told me that story. So beautiful.
Thank you. Well, thank you everybody for watching. It's been brilliant having you along, whether you've been watching when it goes out sort of live or on replay. And just please leave your comments and questions. And if there's any questions or comments for Kim, she'll get back to you as soon as she can, once she's awake, because yes, there'll be antisocial time when it actually goes out. But please do leave any questions and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back again, or I'll be back again with another guest poet next Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time. So thanks ever so much, everybody, and bye-bye for now. Bye. Bye, Kim. Thanks ever so much.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.